What's up, YouTube? It is KJ, and I am back today for my Real Housewives of Atlanta recap. I know I've been slacking. I know it's Jumpstart January. Y'all ain't gotta remind me. However, I am here to talk about the Housewives today. We're gonna get into Jumpstart January later this week. I'm so busy, y'all have no idea, and I really just need to dedicate more time to this channel because you know what? I was watching another vlogger's video, and you know, they made a comment about a vlogger that I watch as well, and how they are just really dedicated to this channel no matter what, come hell or high water. So I need to get into that vibe. I mean, come hell or high water, but you know, I definitely need to get more dedicated to this channel. So praying on it, trying to get it done. Anyway, let's talk about these Real Housewives of Atlanta. Came on Sunday night. I'm a little bit late. However, it was quite entertaining, to say the least. We're going to just go person by person, really, because I don't have notes and I don't have scene by scene. So let's just start with Nene. So Nene was basically getting back from the trip. Greg picked her up from the trip. And she was telling Greg about how everything went on the trip. When Nene was explaining to Greg what happened, you know, Nene kind of did not, she told what she said and what she did, but she didn't tell like the full backstory of it, or unless it was edited out. But, you know, she never told how she kind of admitted to, and you know, she admitted herself that she kind of put fuel to the fire that the next day after it happened. So she never told Greg that she felt like she initiated this whole situation. She didn't tell Greg that. With the way she told Greg, it was kind of like she don't know why these girls was doing this. She don't know why this happened and this happened. But to us, to the viewers, and to the girls, the next day, she actually did say that she thought she kind of added fuel to that fire and caused that whole scene. So Nene is, you know, obviously Greg is not really into that whole messy ass, petty ass chick kind of shit that she be doing outside of him, and she's not as mature as she portrays herself around him. So she did not actually come out with the whole story or whatnot. Then she talking about how she had to apologize so many times to Claudia, which, you know, if Claudia wasn't ready to accept her apology, that's what it was, Nene. I mean, it is what it is. You would be the first person to treat somebody like that. So you should actually be understanding of how Claudia felt. In any case, she telling Greg this, and she just like, he like, well, is she slow? Let me see if this light gonna be better. And I'm in traffic too, y'all. He was like, is she slow? So Greg was just kind of trying to throw little jabs. I felt he was trying to throw little jabs and whatnot at Claudia for no reason, you know, just based on what Nene says. Greg, you can't believe everything Nene says. And based on you being on the show last season, Greg, and you knowing what kind of shit y'all got into with Peter and Nene and Cynthia, like, you should know that there are things that happen that Nene don't always tell you about, and that you just can't trust everything she say. So while you asking, is she slow, nigga, are you slow for being bothered with the likes of Nene Leakes? Okay, that was that on Nene. Then we got Phaedra. So Phaedra, she had a conversation with Jerry J. She in her office talking to him about his case and his situation, blah blah blah. Then her mom comes in, and she basically tell her mom that Apollo has gotten like an updated case, a date on when he's supposed to report to court. And her mom was just like, you know, how do you feel about that? And Phaedra again just kind of giving this nonchalant ass type of look, like she don't really care. It don't, you know, she can't really she can't go into it. She don't really know how to feel, all that fakery and whatnot. Because again, Phaedra does not want her business to be on the show, even though this is her storyline this season and she may as well deal with it. And this is real life situation, so she may as well deal with it. She's still trying to sugarcoat when somebody asks her about, you know, Apollo. So her mama was just, you know, telling her basically, you know, that, you know, everything is going to work out, you know, things are going to work out. Meanwhile, Apollo is with the boys, Aiden and Mr. President, I think. I don't even know his name, honey. But he with them, which I think they are the cutest kids. I really think they are the cutest kids. But he's hanging out with them, bonding with his boys, and he just talking to them, about, what happens when adults get in trouble, and he's trying to, explain the situation and where they go and all of that stuff. And Aiden, kids are so honest and just so, it's not really, at this age, it's not about lying, especially if they're not in no trouble or don't think they're gonna get in trouble. Like, it's just he's just really just having a conversation with them and just kind of talking with them. And so he was telling them, about him, being able, getting in trouble and having to go away for a little while, and how would they feel, and how does he feel when, he was really talking to Aiden, because Aiden is really able to respond to him. And he was just like, how would you feel if I was away from the house? How do you feel? How does that make you feel? And he was like, it makes me sad. And, he was, just trying to talk to the boys. And what I thought about this whole scene was that, when they are older, because their parents are on television now, and they are going to definitely know about the Real Housewives, it's going to be online. It's forever online. So I think that because this is going to be help for him in the future with his boys, as far as what actually happened during this time in Phaedra's life, because he has this now on camera, on the internet. It's available to them, so they not gonna can't never say that he didn't want them, or didn't want them around, or didn't want them to come and visit him. It's never, as far as I think, because he did portray this way on camera, and for like it's kind of like etched in stone for his boys. I don't think they will ever resent him for that. It's not like he left them for 8 years. I mean, he did, but he kind of clean that up by putting it on national TV. So that's just what I think. Phaedra might not want to kind of talk down about him, or say things about him, or not take them to see him, because he has kind of put it out there that he would like for them, and wishes and prays and hope that they are able to come and see him, because they're so young. That's gonna fall on their mother. And he also put it out there that he's sorry and all of that stuff. So Phaedra, if anything, and when they are older and they get to realizing what's going on, Phaedra, I would advise you to go ahead and have your sons to go and see their father, because this is on the record. And when they get older, they're going to see this, and they're going to come to you and question you and say, well, why didn't you take me to go see my daddy if that's what I wanted to do? If that's what he wanted, to keep us in a, bonded. So yeah, I thought that was a nice scene with Apollo and Apollo and the boys. So we go over to Cynthia. Basically, Cynthia, Mallory, and Peter are sitting around the kitchen, and Cynthia is telling them about how the trip went or whatever. And basically just telling them that how Nene got read by Claudia, and she's really liking Claudia, and Peter is like, from what I'm hearing, I'm liking her too, and so she was just telling them about how, Claudia, she is definitely here for Claudia, and that they had a good time, and it was some ups and downs, but all in all, it was a good time at the, where'd they go, Puerto Rico or some shit, I don't even remember. Anyway, so, Cynthia says to us that, she is pretty much clear at this point that her and Nene are not going to be friends, and she's okay with it. She has received it, and she is fine with it, and she's about to move on with Claudia and Cynthia, and, do their own thing, So, Cynthia tells, Mallory, I guess Mallory and Cynthia, some kind of way they come up, start talking about Nene, because of course Cynthia got to talk about Nene in all her goddamn scenes, but she ended up talking about Nene, and Mallory brings up the friend contract. So the friend contract is somewhere in the house. Cynthia was like, Mallory's like, is it in there? Is it in there? And so Cynthia was like, no, it ain't in there. It ain't in there. So she go walk off and go and dig and find the friend contract filed away. Cynthia running behind her like, no. But at the end of the day, they get it, put it in the sink, and burn it. So the friend contract is over. I didn't even think it was an actual real piece of paper, but you know what? When I saw it, I forgot that it was, and they actually both did sign it. So it's just crazy how these grown ladies is acting, but whatever. But anyway, so she burned it up, and it's null and void. Contract is over. But it seemed like it was an actual contract, y'all. Like, for real. It's crazy. Alright, so that was Cynthia. Let's see what else happened. So also Cynthia and Peter getting ready to go to Charlotte to open up the sports one in Charlotte. That's Peter's new bar and club that he has. He no longer has the bar one. So Claudia, Kenya, and Cynthia are basically going to go on a road trip together to go on to Claudia. I think it was like 3 hours trip or whatever. So they ride in the car and they having all kind of fun and stuff and just kind of having girly stuff. Now Kenya was kind of being you know, I don't think that she was doing this as like, give me this, do that, do that. I think it was a joke, but it was kind of annoying. I mean, they didn't even seem to think it was so funny, you know, with her mooning somebody in the car and all that stuff. They was kind of just like, oh, Lord, you know. But I think that might be just because they know what kind of girl she is, or just like, oh, Lord, we got a crazy fool. Cynthia like, I ain't with y'all, you know, all this kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, you know, they seem to hang out and have fun together, so that's fine. I mean, it is what it is. They okay with her kind of fun, so I guess that's cool for them. It doesn't bother them, so why should it bother anybody else what kind of fun they have? I mean, that's you know, it's the fun that they having is based on who they choose to be friends with. And Claudia is different from Cynthia. Cynthia's different from Kenya, but they all click, you know what I'm saying? So I don't see nothing wrong with it. But if I was in the car, I probably would have been like, OMG, probably would have been a little annoyed, but it is what it is. Alright, so Candy goes on to a fertility specialist, which is Dr. Jackie. Everybody knows Dr. Jackie. So her and Todd are over there to get Todd's swimmers tested because they've been having unprotected sex, and they have not been getting pregnant. So they go over to have this done, and Todd go in and fill up the cup in the masturbation room, blase skippy, nothing major. Riley and Candy and Riley and Todd and Kayla are standing in the kitchen after all this. So they're standing in the kitchen, and Candy's telling them that she wants them to arrange the cabinets in the pantry to have healthy foods. Bitch, what the fuck? Like, why are you asking them to do that for you to eat, for them to eat? You the mama of the house. Get that shit done yourself. Why are you asking the kids to do that? Then they talking about, they start talking about how Kayla and Riley are, you know, how are they bonding? So they ask, and Kayla just she kind of speaks up and says, you know what, Riley is not really, you know, very open. She kind of standoffish and always in her room and always on her phone, always on her tablet. Like, she's not really friendly, you know, basically. And I could see that, like, Riley act like her fucking grandma to me, y'all. Riley act like her grandma. And in another episode, I think I was watching Cemented video. In another episode, Mama Joyce did say that Riley is mostly over there with her. So, or, you know, over there with her a lot, you know. And I think that Mama Joyce is the one that kind of discipline Riley and things like that. Because, you know, she had made a couple of comments about Riley not agreeing with what she said and this and that. This was last season, I think, when Kayla first started coming around. But when they first started talking about Kayla and, you know, the whole situation when Mama Joyce said something about the little girl or whatever. So I do recall something like that being stated. Also, you know, Candy was just, you know, kind of saying that, you know, well, they need to hang out and all this stuff. And, you know, Riley say she's 11 and Kayla is 18. No, that's too young. Riley would not be hanging out with me. I'm just saying. Wait a minute, let me get this. Alright, thank you for it. Now I had to answer the phone, then I went inside of Party City too, so I can get all this done. And it's getting dark, so I had to turn the light on. So anyway, let me just finish up real quick. We was talking about Candy and the whole Riley situation and how Riley is just kind of standoffish with the girl. But here's what I think, in my opinion. If Riley is 11 years old and this girl is 17, they too young. They too far apart to be hanging out. As far as what an 11-year-old little girl want to do, she should be want to play with Barbie dolls and watch the fucking Disney Channel all day. Like, that's what an 11-year-old should be wanting to do. Versus what a 17-year-old would want to do. Like, they should be on total opposite sides of the fence and should not want to do the same things or even be interested in the same things, in my opinion. However, you know, they talking about having some bonded time with them. Then they go and have some family time. They go, I think, to where do they go? I want to say bowling. I don't know where they go. They go somewhere for family time. And when they come out, this is the time where Candy reveals her gift to Todd that she bought for Todd for his birthday. And it is a Corvette. A white Corvette. Is really nice. Todd, on the other hand, is not very excited about it. Now, I think that maybe this was like a replay for the cameras, and he was supposed to play it up and didn't, because I'm sure he was much more surprised than happy about it when he got there. But when he first got it, I would think. But in any case, you know, he was not excited about it. And wait a minute. Alright, so yeah, so anyway, basically, so what I'm saying is, you know, I don't think that they should be hanging out and doing, they would not want to do the same things. Oh, I'm lost the track. So no, anyway, so Todd was not excited about the car, and Candy was like, you almost made me maybe want to take it back. Oh my God, I cannot wait to watch Erica and Nate talk about Sugar Mama and her buying this Corvette, because I just can't wait to hear them talk. You know, it take them to talk about the Tuckers, okay? Erica De Niro Kelly, that's my girl. It takes them to talk about the Tuckers. Anyways, let's see what else happened. So it's time to go at the, everybody's at, made it to the Charlotte, to the Sports One situation. Nice club, packed club. Everybody's nice. All the nice, beautiful, grown and sexy people are there. So they get to Charlotte, and Peter's calling because they are late. Obviously, they are 3 hours late. So he calls Cynthia. It's like, what the hell y'all at? You know, and Cynthia was like, you know, well, we doing this and doing that. And she was like, fuck that. You know, when she got the phone and she noticed that her husband had an attitude, she was like, I gotta go. I gotta leave these ladies. They not ready. I gotta go. I can't wait on them. And I don't blame Cynthia. I thought that she had already, you know, was waited too long for them to be 3 hours late. But the fact that she did go ahead and get up and come on, because, you know, this was basically, I guess they was 3 hours late in traveling to get there. When they actually got there, I guess Cynthia went ahead and got in gear and went ahead and got her self-dressed and went on and left them, because they weren't trying, they didn't have any sense of urgency to get to there. And that's her husband's event, and her money is invested also. She should have been on time. The fact that they was 3 hours late was just really fucking ridiculous. So I can understand how Peter would have got an attitude, and I can understand why Cynthia got her motherfucking ass out that goddamn room and got on to that goddamn bar, okay, without them. Anyway, so they get down there, and then Cynthia and Claudia finally arrive, and Cordell is there, and they're talking about Cordell. I'm sorry, y'all, I'm driving in the most raggediest fucking lane ever, so that's why you hear that noise. And then it's a stupid ass truck that pulled in front of me. Oh my God, it's so annoying. And then it's a car next to me that's going slow as fucking molasses. It's dumb. I can't stand people who can't drive, for real. Hold up, let me just see if I can get over stupid bitches. Okay, so sorry, please excuse that. Road rage happens. Anyway, so what's his name? What's the guy's name? In walks Cordell Stewart. So clearly Cordell and Peter have gone into business for this Charlotte bar, Sports One. And you know, Cordell, basically, I guess he was just like an investor and let Peter kind of do his thing when it comes to opening businesses and bars and clubs. So he got in, and he was just like, wow, it's amazing, you did a good job, you did your thing, you know, blah blah blah. So he liked it. They all sit down having drinks. Claudia and Cordell are having some type of flirtation going on. I don't even think it's flirtation. She said she knew Cordell in the past, and you know, blah blah blah. She asked him, was he dating? He said he is. What's her name? Kenya was kind of trying to get them to flirt and play it up a little bit, and Claudia was doing all this blushing and stuff. But oh my God, I don't think Claudia is really interested in Cordell. It's something about Claudia that I'm not really sure. I don't know if she's the underdog. See, because they brought her clothes to the you know, to the place, like she couldn't dress. Y'all know Claudia been struggling. But I'm just saying, like, they making her seem like she's just like, you know, kind of just like the underdog, just kind of, you know, different. But I don't know. I mean, it's just something about Claudia that I find genuine. Then again, you know, it's just something that I can't really pinpoint about her. Yeah, but I do like her. But anyway, so she's talking to Cordell, and just not, you know, I don't see the chemistry, but can you want to think or feel or say or whatever that there is something and they should hook up and he's a nice guy and y'all should exchange numbers and all that shit. But it, you know, at the end of the day, I don't think Claudia was interested in it. It was just all fun and games. But they did exchange numbers, or say they were going to exchange numbers. And last week, you know, I do recall Claudia saying that the papers for her car from the African came to Cordell's house. I do recall her saying that. Y'all might want to go back and look at it. But my question is, how does Claudia even know what papers came to Cordell's house? Or what, is that something that was in the blogs? I know she do Dish Nation. Or, you know, Ricky Smiley Social. Is that something that was in the gossip blogs? Or is that something she know for a fact? Like, she was just like, the papers were sent to Cordell's house. So I just kind of remember that Claudia said that last week. But anyway, yeah, so but pretty much that was pretty much the end of the episode. After that, you know, it kind of went off, I think. Let me just double check. But it was a good episode. It was kind of a lot that was going on. Yeah, but that was the end of the episode. It was pretty good. So don't forget to like this video, you guys. Comment, share, subscribe. Like I said, I am still a part of this Jumpstart January. I'm just not really jumping the start as far as Jumpstart January goes, but I'm still in on it, whatever, and I'm gonna get myself caught up one way or the other. It's just I have a sick family member, and when I get home, I'm going straight into nurse mode, unfortunately. So I just don't have the time that I want to make it, you know, worth something. So I just wanted to come in and give you what I can. So I do appreciate you guys for at least watching. All right, well, I'm going to close this out, and you guys have a great night.